Elephants in the Room.
Come on, girl. Yeah, it's me, Jackie Murray. Oh, give me that look. That's right. Let's get sweaty. Let's get real sweaty. I'm talking rainforest sweaty. I'm talking swamp sweaty. Let's fill a bathtub full of sweat. All right. Everyone wants to love me sexy.
We are Elephants in the Room. This is Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. The segment brought to you by Sher Putman Akins Lamb Family Law in the Denver Tech Center. Strength, trust, dedication, resolve. Those are the four pillars of Sher Putman Akins Lamb. Find them online at spalfamilylaw.com. 303-297-1510, 303-297-1510. You know what we need to start giving out more is the email address. We seem to forget about that. So if you'd like to email us, if you don't want to call in, if you're busy, shoot us an email, elephants@milehighsports.com, elephants@milehighsports.com, and of course you can give us a call and find us on Twitter. We're growing our Twitter.
Twittering.
We hit that magical 400 likes on Facebook, and look out, 405 here. We have you.
We may get you.
We have you in
at the end of this show.
Our crosshairs.
Yeah, I get personal emails sometimes during the show, but I definitely want to have people email us at elephants@milehighsports. But I did get a personal email from Eklund in Denver about LT with some great quotes. And again, I don't know who, where, in what form these were. It said whoever interviewed him, someone named Fox, but on record now, Lawrence Taylor on the whole situation. Taylor blamed the institution of prostitution for the fact that he ended up with an underage girl. It's the world of prostitution. You never know what you're going to get. That's like a Forrest Gump thing. Mom always said, in the institution of prostitution, you never know what you're going to get. Is it going to be a pretty girl, an ugly girl, or whatever it's going to be? Or a young girl, the guy asked. He said, well, you can only ask. I don't card them or ask for a birth certificate. And he had no beef with the girl. I love that line. You never know what you're going to get. It's like a spin the roulette wheel when you sign up a whore.
Wow. Life is LT.
Oh, man.
For LT, hookers are like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, at this point, has LT's post-career gone? Have we forgotten about the greatness that he was on the field yet?
Yeah, but it's only because of that he gets away with this kind of crap.
Yeah, I mean, I remember LT in The Waterboy, 1998, saying, don't smoke crack, and then 2 weeks later he's picked up on a crack possession charge.
Don't bang hook. This is LT. Don't bang hookers. When I bang hookers, I always check their IDs. All right, let's switch gears and get back to our original discussion. We'll get back to LT and his hobbies coming up later, but been waiting for this guy all week. Excited about our next guest. I, as someone who lived in Morris County, New Jersey,
the connections there.
Oh, yeah. I know people from Red Bank, but we, skip all the rest and introduce our guest, Kevin Smith, joining Elephants in the Room on Mile High Sports. Kevin, thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us tonight.
Gentlemen, sorry we didn't connect the previous two times, but here we are. Past the event, but let's just talk regardless.
But now you get to come right after we're talking about Lawrence Taylor and prostitution.
I
So
heard. I missed the first part of the story. What happened?
He basically said that he doesn't card his hookers, and that's what we were getting
Meaning
at.
He doesn't know how old they're?
Well, he got
in trouble, Kevin, last summer with he got a rape charge for an underage girl, and he ended up getting just probation for this. And his sort of way to apologize was, well, I don't card them.
Yeah, so he quite the remorse, I would say.
Yeah, that's kind of grody.
Yeah,
borrow a term from the '80s.
Yeah, it's that's definitely not a fun thing. Kevin Smith joining Elephants in the Room on Mile High Sports. So, Kevin, how did everything go in Denver? Was there a nice turnout?
It was phenomenal. Really nice turnout. Really nice turnout, actually. But more than that, what a receptive crowd. And right then and there on the stage, I told them we were going to come back to town with a Smodcast. That's a podcast we do online.
Yes,
and we've been touring some of the shows. I do one with Scott Mosier called Smodcast. I do one with Jason Mewes called Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. And so we've been taking them out on the road. So I said, I'm gonna come back to town with that because they were a great crowd, man. What a great town. And Muse, who I saw this morning, picked me up at the airport. He was like, I played Boulder and I played Denver, and both times it was a packed, and they were college kids and they liked me. So it's a good town for me, apparently. Man.
I'm not that surprised that Denver and Boulder has much love for Jason Mewes.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, look, everybody's got love for Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
He's tough not to love. He's a good dude. $1 billion heart, nickel head, but $1 billion heart.
Well, you've done these Q&As, I mean, around the country now, and we talked a little bit to your assistant, and we were like, well, can we get Kevin in the studio? It didn't work out. She's like, oh, well, he just goes in there 5 minutes before it starts, so there's no prep, rehearsal, or anything, because you are amazing doing these Q&A sessions, the sort of stories you can yarn.
It's not amazing in the least. All you have to do is answer questions, and people... When people ask you questions about yourself, it's not like I'm being asked the questions that, they ask that smart dude or the computer on Jeopardy. Like they're asking me stuff I can answer easily about my life, and and you feel like they're there. You might as well whip a little entertainment at them as well. Try to do it as entertainingly as you can, because I used to watch like filmmakers talk about their films, and it was very staid and kind of boring. And I don't know. I just felt like if we're going to talk about this and treat this seriously, let me at least try to do it with as much humor as I can and whatnot.
Kevin Smith joining Elephants in the Room tonight on Mile High Sports. Kevin, I lived in New Jersey. I'm not a native.
I heard Morris County, man.
Yeah, lived in Convent Station, lived in Mendham. I have actually an old friend from college. It was from Red Bank. So, and he's roughly your age, and we're about the same age. So, why does New Jersey get a bad rap? Because it is the Garden State, and my theory is that when you land at Newark International, you're flying over Jersey City and Newark and all these hideous towns, and then you drive out to this pretty state.
Yeah, the entry point for the state isn't really the most picturesque.
No.
So, like I came into Denver yesterday, beautiful as you fly in. We don't really have that going for us in Jersey. Where we put the airport, we put it in a place where, the kind of docks are and the oil refineries are. It's just like you're flying in and you're like, this is New Jersey, but it's not. That's just the one area you fly into. The rest of the state does kind of live up to its name of the Garden State. It's very lush, and we're very seasonal, of course, being on the East Coast and whatnot. But it's a beautiful place, man. It gets a bad rap, of course, because dopey stuff like the Jersey Shore or dopey stuff like nuclear waste years ago. Also, it's just you're growing up in the shadow of New York the whole time. You've got that, like, living in the shadow kind of little brother syndrome thing, you know what I'm saying? Or not even little brother. It's just like, it's like being the overweight dude who's friends with the jock who gets laid everywhere. It's just like, yeah, he's great, isn't he? He's great. Boy, I wish I could get some. Just a boob or something, So that's kind of what New Jersey's always been like. People, you're an after consideration. And every once in a while, we become front and center with something kind of cool, like Bruce Springsteen. And then every once in a while, something like the Jersey Shore puts it front and center, and I guess we become a bit of a joke for a little while.
Yeah, Jersey needs one of those commercials like California Tourism with Arnold and Betty White. It can be you, Jovi, and Springsteen extolling the great things of New Jersey.
So that's the thing. It's like, who are we gonna reach? Like those Jersey Shore kids reach everybody.
Yeah,
and then they're kind of a walking billboard for Jersey tourism right
but
now.
they're all from Staten Island.
That's the thing that always, like, people are like, does it bug you? I'm like, I've seen 1 episode, 2 episodes. I think there's one girl that's from Hazlitt, New Jersey, and then the rest aren't from New Jersey. So I was like, I don't know. It's not so much it's kind of like my childhood put on television.
Yeah.
In as much as, like, I grew up on the Jersey Shore, and a bunch of people from New York or North Jersey would come down and swim at the beaches all summer long. So, I don't know. Watching that show, that's what I was overwhelmed by. I was like, wow, this reminds me of growing up, man, dealing with bennies. They called them bennies, which I didn't know what it meant for a long time, and I was scared to use the word because who knew? Maybe it was racist. But it stood for, I think it was like Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark, New York, and that was like the places people drove down from to go swim at the beaches.
Well, Kevin, we do want to talk about Red State. I'm interested. You've assembled quite a unique cast when I'm going through it on IMDb, and I followed along because we're both fans. How did it come about? What inspired you to do this? Because it seems like a little bit of a departure from what you have done, but I think we all just have known from your Q&A stuff, you love sort of exploring kind of virtues that that people don't. I mean, our show's called Elephants in the Room. We enjoy talking about things that most people don't want to talk about.
Right.
And Red State kind of seems right up that alley.
Yeah, Red State's very much a movie that's. There's 3 chapters to the movie, kind of. At least you don't see them in the flick at all, but we break up the cast in the end credits thusly: sex, religion, politics. The movie's about the 3 things you're never supposed to speak about in public, for fear that you'll get into an argument or illicit rage or something like that. For me, it was just kind of a chance to do something fun outside my comfort zone. You know, I like comedy, and I've been doing that for a while, but I just wanted to see if I could make a Tarantino movie by way of the Coen brothers, and that's what I was shooting for. And I was like, right, let me give it a shot with Red State. And it's a little horror movie. I call it a horror movie, but most people argue with me about it. Like, it's not horror, dude. It's an action thriller, or it's psychological thriller. To me, it's horror. Horrible things happen in it. Horrible people doing horrible things. The whole movie's about immoral relativism and people making a series of bad choices. But it's like begins with 3 kids in high school who find like this Craigslist kind of site where they meet a chick online, they can get laid. She's going to take them all out in the woods. And they go out there because they're boys, right? They're teenage boys, and they're just like, must be true. And they get there, and it's Melissa Leo. She slips them some roofies in these beers. They pass out, wake up in a subterranean chapel where this, like, religious extremist preacher and his family have them held captive, kind of Texas Chainsaw style, and then we take off running from there, and then it becomes a different movie, and then it takes a turn and becomes a different movie. It's kind of a movie mashup, and it is a real big departure from where I came from. Every once in a while, you got to shake it up, right? And you know, sometimes I borrow heavily from Gretzky and his father, Walter Gretzky. You know, sometimes you got to go where the puck's gonna be, and I felt like I was playing puck chasing for a long time. And then with this, I felt like, you know what, I'm going to skate way out here because I think this is where puck's going to wind up.
Well, Kevin Smith on Elephants in the Room, Mile High Sports, AM 1510, FM 93.7. What's been the reaction around the country? What have your
I mean, to be honest, it's a loaded deck, right? Like basically, people are going to theaters to see it. Where like not movie theaters, but where like we show the movie. There's Q&A afterwards. It's a big show. Tickets are like anywhere from $40 to $65 or something like that. So, you know, that's a chunk of change. Some people are just like, I'm not going to pay to see that. It's like, don't worry, man. The movie will come out in October. You can see it in the multiplex for like $10. This is just an early bird tour for everybody who wants to see it early. So, you know, we take it out there, and we're showing it to an audience that's pretty much guaranteed to like it. I mean, when you're ponying up $60 to see a movie and the Q&A afterwards, you know, the chances that you're going to be like, oh, my God, this is terrible, are very, very minimal. It just so happens the movie's actually pretty damn good, too. So the screenings have been almost religious, which is funny because movies kind of about a religious cult, and afterwards the Q&A sometimes can feel like, to some outsiders, a religious cult of sorts, because it's a bunch of people gathered in a theater who had heard about the movie by listening to the podcasts on smodcast.com. So we all kind of speak a common language. Based on that, though, movie ends, man. Like, these crowds are interactive, dude. Not even like waiting till the end. They're applauding once the bad guys start dropping. John Goodman in Chicago turned on a light, revealed himself, and a crowd applauded it. It was crazy. So movie plays really well. We got a great cast. It doesn't play like a Kevin Smith movie at all. That's the thing I get afterwards. They're like, you didn't make this. You must have paid somebody else to make this. But I swear it's mine. We got Melissa Leo, a chick who just won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in The Fighter, and we got John Goodman, and we got Michael Parks, the great Michael Parks, who plays our Fred Phelps-like bad guy.
Well, Kevin, we unfortunately do have to let you go. I know you've got a busy night with the Smodcast.
No worries.
I'm
so glad. I'm sorry we didn't hook up.
No worries, man. It's cool.
Not
The
at all.
movie's Red State. We're excited to have it come out. I'm excited to get the DVD commentary when it comes out because every commentary you do is gold.
You're so sweet, man.
Hey,
Thank you.
Kevin, real quick, Friendlies or Carvel?
Friendlies, hands down, because they got that peanut butter sauce.
Absolutely. Thank you. Kevin Smith, Red State's the movie. We are Elephants in the Room. This is Mile High Sports, and you can catch the podcast of this interview we had with Kevin Smith very soon on milehighsports.com. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We are Elephants in the Room. This is Mile High Sports.